And we were all shocked. Over the period of the 45 minutes of the lunchtime, he had close to 4 drinks. And I flagged one of the flight attendant and I said that, listen, I think he had uh, quite a few, and just keep an eye. My complaint was how the thing was handled. I had written a 2-page complaint which went nowhere. I was seated in seat 8A. He was in 8C, my next seat, and we were speaking to each other, chit-chatting like you do with co-passenger. But I could see that over the period of the 45 minutes of the lunchtime, he had close to 4 drinks. And, by the end of the lunch time, he had asked me the same questions multiple times. He asked me 3 times the same question. Oh, do you have kids? What do they do? Do you have kids? So what I did was, when I finished lunch, I went to the galley and I flagged one of the flight attendant and I said that, listen, I think he had quite a few, and just keep an eye. And then I went to sleep. I woke up to a sound, and I realized that he just kind of fell on his seat and he's passed out, he's sleeping. So I thought maybe, it's turbulent, he lost his balance. So I went to use the restroom, and when I went to, after I finished using the restroom in the galley, is when I met the lady. And I first thought that, because it was a pretty turbulent flight, and I first thought that something must have spilled on her. And then she's a very quiet and very decent lady, and that is part of the reason why a lot of people around didn't understand what happened. And she was very quiet, but when she said, no, this happened, and we were all shocked. And so there were 2 junior air hostesses who were in charge. They wore gloves, they cleaned her up, they cleaned her bag which had her passport, and then, see, the problem is, I asked, I was there for a long time because I wanted them to give her a proper seat.
Mhm.
First class was full,
Mhm.
but the business was full, but the first was absolutely empty, and there were 4 seats in the first class. And so I went to one of the senior stewardess, and I said, just let her go and have a seat at the first. She said, sir, I can't do that. I need to take the permission of the captain. I said, then go and take the permission of the captain. So the thing is, the PIC, the pilot in command, he must have done his number of hours and he was resting. And she said, the PIC is resting. Only after PIC is available, I can ask her to move. So, see what happened, and what happened with Mishra and the lady is wrong. But my complaint was how the thing was handled. I had written a 2-page complaint which went nowhere, and only when things came out and an FIR was filed, people reached out to me. But the 2 pages written complaint that I gave went nowhere. A crime has happened. Your job is to report it to the appropriate authorities. So when I saw that they were trying to mediate the incidents, they took both of them, made them speak to each other, and Mr. Mishra came back, was holding her wet clothes, saying that I'm going to dry clean it and send it. I understood that they are going to mediate, and they didn't want to file an official complaint. But I felt morally that I should write a complaint. So I asked for the JLB, or the General Ledger book. They said they don't have it. They gave me 2 pieces of paper. I wrote a 2-page complaint. I gave it to them. Fortunately, I had taken photograph of what I had written, and then and I heard nothing, and I just thought the whole thing vanished. I will continue to fly Air India. I still feel I still feel very proud to be an Indian and to fly Air India. And I have nothing against Air India, because one isolated incidents like this does not define what Air India do or have done. I am myself from the northeast of India. Growing up, they have been our go-to airline.